there's no way in this election year that Congress is going to pass a big housing bill. Not going to have it. So what does this set up? It sets up President Biden, candidate Biden, saying, I want to fix housing, and those Republicans in Congress are stopping it. You've got to re-elect me. So you kind of mess something up, and then you blame Congress for not fixing what you messed up.
Welcome to The Debrief, where we talk with the Washington Examiner's top journalists about the headlines they're covering and where the story's going next. I'm Sarah Bedford, and I'm here with Chief Political Correspondent Byron York. And Byron, you wrote this week about Joe Biden's apparently secret obsession with housing costs, and that seems like something of an odd obsession to keep to himself, right?
Well, given how important housing is for every single American, you'd think if you were really concerned about that, you wouldn't keep it a secret. But yet that is what Politico Playbook said, that Biden is secretly obsessed with housing policy, and that in White House meetings he is quizzing aides about interest rates and about the prices of rents and all sorts of stuff. And what's going on here is that obviously Biden is running for re-election. He knows that he has his party's nomination. Donald Trump has his party's nomination. And the economy and the price of food and housing are huge issues. So all of a sudden we're hearing stories about how concerned Joe Biden is about the price of housing. Now, what's interesting is they're also floating the idea that Biden has a plan to make housing better and more affordable for many Americans. And the plan is to increase tax credits for people who buy houses, give more money to people who are renters, give more money to local communities, and by this we mean taxpayer money, to communities that are going to build more affordable housing. It all involves a lot more government spending. And that would involve Congress. Congress would have to do it. Now, there's no way in this election year that Congress is going to pass a big housing bill. Not going to have it. So what does this set up? It sets up President Biden, candidate Biden, saying, I want to fix housing, and those Republicans in Congress are stopping it. You've got to re-elect me. So you kind of mess something up, and then you blame Congress for not fixing what you messed up.
You note in your piece this week that it's actually pretty similar to the strategy that the White House has taken when it comes to the border, where President Biden has arguably even more culpability for causing a crisis. So how effective will this blame game be for blaming Donald Trump?
I personally think Joe Biden is almost 100% culpable for the current situation at the border. And now he blames Republicans in Congress and Trump for that. As a matter of fact, he said that between now and November, Americans are not going to be able to forget that the reason the border is not secure is Donald Trump and his MAGA allies, meaning those one in Congress. Now, is this going to work? I don't actually think so. But, so the economy is such a weak spot for Biden. I don't think it can all of a sudden become a strong point for Biden, which means, in my opinion, this is a little prediction, I don't do a lot of predicting, but I think that the only thing he can really do is scare people about Trump. I mean, it's got to be a campaign about how if you elect Trump, American democracy will end. He will destroy American democracy. So I think that that's really the campaign that Biden is going to have to rely on, because he can't say, gosh, I'm bringing inflation down, although prices are still really high, or I've made a house more affordable, or, I haven't messed up, the world is at peace due to my policies. I mean, he just can't say any of that. He's just got to say Trump is dangerous.
The democracy argument in 2021, in the immediate aftermath of January 6th, seemed to resonate. People were pretty upset about what happened with January 6th. More than 3 years later, and after seeing what is being done to Donald Trump in the courts, which polls show a lot of Americans aren't buying the narrative about Donald Trump, has the democracy argument too lost a lot of its power?
Well, we're going to find out. It actually did pretty well in the midterms in 2022. A lot of us thought that the abortion issue would be a huge issue in 2022, and it was.
But in 2022, this was before all the Trump indictments, right? Have those changed the calculus?
It was, but But what we found out in the exit polls from 2022 was, in addition to the economy, in addition to the Dobbs decision and the issue of abortion, there was, among a lot of voters, the issue of democracy and the idea that Trump is a threat to democracy. Now, you're saying that, well, okay, that was November of 2022. Now you've had the president's administration indicting his opponent. Will the democracy issue somehow fade, or maybe be divided between the two candidates? Maybe, but I would say that with this, the president has basically all of the media on his side.
Right.
He has a whole chorus out there on his side. So I suspect that whether or not it works, he's sure going to try it between now and November.
Well, Byron, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
You can get more writing from Byron by signing up for his newsletter, Byron York's Daily Memo, at WashingtonExaminer.com.